Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we're heading to Florida to check out one of the most straightforward and sharp judges on the bench, especially when it comes to dealing with sovereign citizens and their made-up license plates. This judge doesn't waste time and keeps the courtroom running with firm authority. And trust me, it's always something worth watching.
So you potentially could be looking at up to 25 years in prison.
So let's begin.
Mr. Musgrove, you want to come up to the podium, please. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brian Joseph Musgrove, file number 23-21461FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Michael Dagger-Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Musgrove. Mr. Dagger-Margosian might, oh, there he is. So, Mr. Dagger-Margosian, this is a date and time set for pre-trial in this matter. Mr. Musgrove said that he was appearing on his own behalf. I did verify he is not an attorney, and you are still the attorney of record. So, Mr. Dagger-Margosian, how do you wish to proceed?
Well, Your Honor, I am aware that Mr. Musgrove wants to present information to the court. I'm happy to be standby counsel if he wants to represent himself. Obviously, this court would have to go through the colloquy of that, but obviously it's Mr. Musgrove's legal right to at least ask the court to do that. So I'm here to observe at this point.
All right. So, Mr. Musgrove, when you were at the bench or up at the podium before, you said that you were appearing on behalf of yourself. So, Mr. Musgrove, are you asking to no longer have counsel represent you?
Well, what I'm understanding is that the courts is a private for-profit.
So, Mr. Musgrove, I know where you're going with this, and none of that is valid. None of that is law.
I'm not the all caps name. Of course,
none of that is valid. None of that is law. You are standing in my courtroom. I have jurisdiction over.
Judge in focus today is Brantley Clark, and he doesn't play games in his courtroom. We've got 4 different appearances to go through. So let's jump right in. Clark came close to making a major slip when he nearly prompted the defendant to admit on record that he drove without a license. If the defendant had answered and that statement was later used against him, it could have given him a chance to challenge any conviction.
I tried to file paperwork with the clerk's office ahead of time so that you would have time to review it, and they denied me.
I know what you're talking about. None of that is valid under the law of the state of Michigan or the Constitution of the United States of America.
What do you mean it is?
No.
The Supreme Court says it is.
What does it say it is?
The Supreme Court says that if we were at the age of 18, we were supposed to claim our minor status.
Nope, not valid.
Okay.
So here's what I would say to you. Mr. Dagger-Margosian is, like most of our public defenders, exceptional attorneys and very well versed in the law and very experienced. He gives legal advice. You may not like the legal advice, but it's usually good advice. I've never had anyone from the public defender's office not wholeheartedly try to represent their clients. So what you are talking about is not valid, and it is not going to get you out of this case. You're not going to be able to say all those things because it's not valid.
Everyone involved in this court case has a financial interest in the case.
I don't have a financial interest in your case. I get paid by the state of Michigan, whether you plead, whether it gets dismissed. I don't make any money off you.
In this situation, it looks like the defendant drove to the records office to pick up some paperwork, and staff later realized he didn't have a valid license, leading to a citation. Since that's a potential probation violation, Judge Clark is giving him time to resolve things in county court before deciding on possible jail time or even revoking his probation. Up next is a quick but wild arraignment.
We have budgets. The court system is not a profit-generating revenue. We are here to represent people so that people who are charged with crimes are protected, people who are victims of crimes are protected, And that's why we have
But in
all
order
these.
for there to be a crime, there has to be a victim. There is no.
Well, there is a victim in this case
The victim would
because
be the company. And the
you are
company-
charged.
I can't face. the
Actually,
company.
just hold on. So your crime that you are charged with, which you are innocent as of this time, let me grab the right file, is failure. Oh, this is let me see. This is an embezzlement charge. So you are charged in count 1 with embezzlement 50,000 or more, but less than 100,000. That being an agent, servant, or employee of Hardwoods of Michigan Industries did convert to your own use without the consent of your employer or principal, industrial tools and equipment in the amount of $68,938.40 or money or equipment. And that's a 15-year felony. So if you are found guilty by a jury, you can go to prison for up to 15
Short and simple life, he refuses to identify himself. Send him to jail. If he does, keep him there for the probation violation. Now, the next 2 hearings run a bit longer, starting with a probable cause hearing where a sovereign citizen named Lars tries to represent himself, and it doesn't go well at all.
You're charged in count 2 with using a computer to commit a crime. To facilitate the charge in count 1, that carries a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison. And the way the statute's set up, I can actually stack those possibly. So you potentially could be looking at up to 25 years in prison. So the victim that's alleged in this would be that business.
Right, and I can't face that accuser because that business can't get on the stand for me to ask questions, and a third party.
But their
can't stand
representative
it.
can. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Yes, they
Okay.
can.
Just when I thought I'd heard every sovereign citizen argument, this one threw me a reference to the Adams-Onis Treaty, which actually involves Spain ceding Florida to the U.S. in 1819 and has nothing to do with a made-up right to travel in a so-called road canoe. As for travelers, I've only seen one real one me. A couple of weeks ago, I was joking about them in Dublin, then Amsterdam, now Prague, with Vienna and Madrid up next. None of that would be possible without today's sponsor, Exter. While they're known for their smart wallets, they recently sent me their new travel duffel backpack for my Europe trip. It's TSA approved, surprisingly roomy, and perfect for organizing essentials. You can check it out via the link in the description and use code SKEPTIC at checkout for a bonus discount. Thanks to Exter for supporting the channel. Now let's get back to the action.
Student loan debt that was forgiven to be a lawyer. You do not. And Mr. Dagger Margosian, Mr. Isaac Sneed, all of the attorneys here went to law school to know the law, and their job is to advise you of the law. So
Yeah,
yes, they
they're-
can. Yes,
They're
you
going
can
by
be charged.
everything, all the
can't-
laws and statutes that you guys go by
Are
are for
legal.
corporations. They're for fixed.
Still a crime. Still a crime.
But I'm not
Still a
a business
crime.
corporation, I'm a living person.
Yep, and that's why you're standing in front of me. If you were dead, the case would be dismissed.
Yeah, the all caps name is that.
That means nothing. That's not valid. It's
Okay.
not legal.
right.
So, do you want to represent yourself, or do you want to have an attorney to represent you?
I need some time to think.
Okay, so I'm gonna set this for another pretrial on March 20th at 8:30 in the morning. And Miss Adams, could I get a notice of hearing for Mr. Musgrove?
Pretty sure his brain was tucked safely under that travel pad he was napping on, but now it's time to let that brilliant mind loose so it can soar, ... right into a spinning steel What's wild is that he clearly has the vocabulary to say all the right words, but not quite enough sense to string them together logically. He's smart enough to throw out a Fourth Amendment claim, just not sharp enough to explain what the actual violation was.
C-21461FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Musgrove. Mr. Dagger Margosian might, oh, there he is. So, Mr. Dagger Margosian, this is a date and time set for pretrial in this matter. Mr. Musgrove said that
Wraps up the third video. Judge Clark rightly found probable cause, and we'll see this sovereign citizen again in mid-April. Now we're heading into the fourth case. A 3-day trial that kicks off with the defendant and his lawyer trying to justify the use of an illegal tag. Credit to the lawyer for putting in a solid effort, but he's up against Judge Clark, who's rock solid when it comes to shutting down sovereign citizen nonsense.
Happy to be standby counsel if he wants to represent himself. Obviously, this court would have to go through the colloquy of that, but obviously it's Mr. Musgrove's legal right to at least ask the court to do that. So I'm here to observe at this point.
All right. So, Mr. Musgrove, when you
As a weak excuse, while some states do allow you to find a safe spot to pull over once an officer activates their lights, the key is doing it as soon as possible. The law doesn't say you can cruise around town looking for the busiest spot to stop.